Animals are important. We need to fight for them. We need to be a voice for them. And that message keeps on being repeated every single time. And I understand, it's true. Animals are being killed every day, and it's so alarming. We talk, but it's time to take action, guys.
It is no tomorrow for any of us. I'm very thankful for the Cabinet Secretary for being here today, for the new DG for being here today, for KWS for coming in big numbers, for the band, thank you very much, because we must show the political will, we must show the youth will, we must show the conservation will, we must show the will of humanity. I tell you right now, as young people, we know a lot, but we do not know everything. Intergenerational mentorship is a two-way street. I really want to see a lot of mentorship coming both ways. As I come to the close of my speech, Global March this year is about CITES. CITES, put it simply, is where a lot of people sit down in a big mukutano and discuss to trade or not to trade our species. But we say no market, no market. We say we want all African species in all range states in all of Africa to be on the highest protection listing. Appendix 1, no less. When I say Appendix 1, you say no less. Appendix 1? Appendix 1? We must stand behind our country. We must stand behind our government. Sometimes we disagree, but sometimes we agree. We must find space in between our differences. We must find space in between our disagreements to connect and move forward. I tell you today, turn to your neighbor to your right, turn to your neighbor to your left, look behind, look in front, look within. Who is doing this? You must make the personal decision as an individual first to make a difference. And then together, we can change the world. I always say, I am an important, essential asset to this world. The only difference between me and you is that you haven't realized how important you are too. Thank you very much.
Monitoring at the border post, on our highways, at the port of Mombasa itself, in the courtrooms. Our prosecutions have to be scaled up. We've got to do much more. Seeing so many young people in this march has really given me a lot of hope. I talked to many of you as we were walking, and thank you so much for your generosity. A lot of questions were asked. Some young people said to me, we are graduates from the department studying tourism and wildlife. What next? How can we get a job? What can we do? Where can we be interns? How can we learn? To me, the world of conservation and tourism is huge. It's exploding. There are massive opportunities out there. But Mr. Minister, we need to create a platform for young people, all of you here who are studying, it doesn't matter what degree, if you care about wildlife and conservation, there should be opportunities for you in this government. After all, wildlife generates over $2 billion a year for this country. It makes up more than 12% of our GDP. There should be job opportunities at every step of the way, whether it's research, conservation, management, tourism. There are many other areas as well. So I encourage you all to think about this and the ministry to create a platform for young people to actually enter into this industry as not just for a job, but to help us to save our wildlife. For our latest developments at Wildlife Direct, I hope that you all tune in to Citizen TV on Sunday at 5 p.m. We have a new television series, and this series was directed at young Kenyans. After so many meetings and conversations, what we heard is that Kenyans want to get involved in conservation but don't have enough access to information, and they don't know what they can do. So we're shining a light on our top Kenyan conservation heroes. Last week, some of you saw Fikiri Kiponda, a Kenyan who has saved thousands of turtles. Kenyan turtles are recovering because of one man and the group of people that he works with. So you see, an individual can make a big difference. Tomorrow we'll be talking to Dedan Ngatia, a Kenyan scientist from central Kenya, who's studying the most endangered predator in Africa, the African wild dog. So I hope you guys tune in, watch the shows, and then come to us and tell us what you think about it, because we want to create products that young people can benefit from, and we want to create an opportunity for young people to engage in conservation. Thank you.
These majestic animals are losing the battle for survival because of the greed driving illegal wildlife products trade, which is worth billions of dollars. The dwindling numbers of the elephant population, for example, emanates from poaching at an industrial scale. Today, poaching is being executed using sophisticated means such as automatic weapons, helicopters, night vision equipment, to mention but a few. Ivory trade is also increasingly being run by transnational criminal networks. Other threats facing the elephants are habitat loss, degradation, and ever-increasing human-elephant conflict. And also, as human populations continue to grow across elephant traditional ranges, more and more land is being taken over for agriculture and pastoralism. The future of this species tethers on the knife edge of extinction because of increasing human population and infrastructural expansion, as well as a spike in the demand for ivory and rhino horn in the overseas market. And it is good to hear that China, probably one of the largest markets, is banned trade in ivory. That is a big plus for us.
To reactivate the youth, Mabingwa Youth, that program. We want to make it work now. We'll work with Peter and his team. Paula, Wildlife Direct, thank you very much for a great job you have done as well. We're going to partner with you. Don't point our fingers at government. Let's work together because this is our responsibility together. The issue of the platform, Paula, let's come and work together and create jobs for our people. So this is what we want to do. It's partnership. And let me tell you, I haven't walked 10 kilometers in my life. I climbed Mount Kenya. I know I've walked, but not within 3 hours. 3 hours, 10 kilometers, my God. But I can tell you, I was motivated by the youth. I know we are doing it for you, but because we are in the privileged positions of government, I will be your champion. I will defend every position you take in conserving this wildlife heritage of our nation. Let's engage, let's work together, educate me. And Peter, there'll be no disagreement. Peter Moll, there'll be no disagreement with the public. We will work with the public, engage, appreciate each other, respect each other, and we make sure we address every challenge that this sector faces, both locally and internationally. It's important. I know this global march is not about just Kenya. It's about the world. 100 countries participate. But Kenya is always the champion because the real wildlife are available in Kenya. They are here. And the diversity of animals, they are here. Out of the 4 species of giraffe, 3 of them are in Kenya. Why don't we have a right to defend them? There are 90,000 giraffes in this world. 30,000 are in Kenya. We have a stake to protect these animals as well. That's why we want them to go to Appendix 2. Elephants. We are losing elephants every day. We must be honest. And I can tell you, the numbers that were there before were shocking. In 2012, 2013, almost 400 elephants were killed through poaching. Today, which is last year, below 40 elephants were poached because government was on top of it and we don't compromise. Anybody who is poaching will take action against you seriously. We must put our borders at check. So we are taking care of that. So from 400 to below 40. That's a great achievement for KWS, and I salute you for good work. But I know we don't want them to be 40. We want them to be less than 10 if possible. And even to 0 if possible. Why not? It can be done. For the rhinos, 2012, there were almost 60 rhinos poached in this country. Today, only 4. But even those 4, you don't know. When I got the news of every rhino that's poached in the country, I'm the first person to be notified. That week, I don't sleep. I'm traumatized because I don't know what will happen to the rest of the rhinos. So we take action, and I salute again KWS for the great job that they're doing. It's not easy. It's not been easy to monitor this, to safeguard from people who are sophisticated. And that's why I took a trip to European Union. I met the Vice President of the European Commission and told him Europe must close the domestic market because it has a direct link to poaching in Africa. They tried to explain me too much English, and me, I don't know English. Kizungu mingi, lakini tumeelewana. I am honored, I can tell you, they received us with a lot of respect. They appreciated. In fact, they told us no high-level delegation has ever gone to them to educate them on what is the problem. Now they've understood. Now they have understood, and I can tell you, I met more than 5 ministers from Europe, and all of them after our meeting, they are supporting Kenya's position. And I want to encourage them even more. I've offered myself even to meet all ministers in the European Commission for Kenya to go and educate them and tell them what is the position that we are holding. We are not holding it for the sake of. We are holding for the sake of the African elephant that is now declining in a high rate. And that is our agenda. The next was Japan and Asia. I was told there are 17,000 ivory traders in Japan. Imagine if one trader per year deals with one elephant. How many elephants will we have lost? 17,000 elephants. Can we afford to do that? No. This myth about medicine is not true. This fashion about wearing dead animal products is no longer fashionable. So we must stand hard. I am disappointed with my colleagues in Africa. Yesterday, there was an African Union meeting in preparing the position of CITES. I want to thank the Western Africa, Francophone, Central Africa, Eastern Africa, but SADC has disappointed us. They want to lift, including rhino horns. Swaziland wants rhino horns to be lifted. We can't allow that. They want to also lift, again, the market, the sale of ivory, at least one-off. People are preparing to be able to raise this stock so that they can be able to sell it whenever it opens. We are not going to relent on this agenda. I am very clear, as a Kenyan government, and we have consulted extensively with stakeholders, we have one position. Elephants will go to Appendix 1. Giraffe will go to Appendix 2. And we must take this position seriously. I can tell you we are going to send a powerful team in Colombo. And we will bulldoze. Me, I'm not a diplomat. Me, I'm a champion. And I have this generation to champion. I will stand by you and defend your heritage for the future of this country and this world. So yes, we have an agenda. We must stand firm on this agenda. But today I want to say thank you to all of you, the organizers, Kenya Wildlife Service, for your support and contribution. And every one of you, I'm told people from all over the country are here, including international people are here. So we want to thank you very much for today's event. It's been very successful. Over 3,000 people have attended here. But the agenda and the message is clear. We are voicing for the voiceless of these innocent animals that they are endangered. And we must stand firm on this heritage that we cherish. Finally, today is a celebration. We must make it worth of this celebration. So I want to declare tomorrow to be free entry for all Kenyans in Nairobi National Park, the orphanage, and the safari walk for all Kenyans. And then I want to encourage the stakeholders here. Paula, Wildlife Direct, stand out and shout out, stand up and shout out, Peter Moll and your team of the youth. How do we create a program that is sustainable to encourage, to educate and motivate the young generation and young students from young age? So I leave that as a challenge. You sit down with KWS, DG, you come with a program, so we have an annual pass for the youth. They can enter into National Park so that they can be able to be educated and motivated. So tomorrow they can be the defenders of this heritage for our nation. With those remarks, I want to say thank you very much. Lakini nataka ngoma kabla sijaenda. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Tuendelee na mbona hamsongi? Haya basi, ikiokotwa iokotwe basi na iokotwe. Waziri ashafika hapa. Yokoto bana. Basi waziri uko hapa na sisi sote tunaombwa kuweza kudance kwa huo wimbo. Ni ule